For our agenda today, I'll be introducing you to MoxiEngage. Then we'll talk about the business benefits MoxiEngage can bring to you and your business. Next, we'll take a tour of MoxiEngage with a live demo, including how to use the help section that's available to you within the tool. And we'll wrap up with some important next steps to ensure that you have what you need to get started, where to find additional learning opportunities including self-paced learning and getting started guides. MoxiEngage is your devoted sidekick, keeping you on task and in flow, syncing and updating info and insights about your clients, and ultimately helping you save the day. Every day with these features, Contact Management MoxiEngage provides agents with a space to house data for every contact in their sphere with the confidence that they'll have guided support in turning those contacts into business. Organize and group your leads in ways that cater to your own personal preferences. Automated Email Marketing MoxiEngage is the only real estate CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, tool that offers completely automated emails with market snapshots personalized for each subscribed contact in an agent's MoxiEngage account. These monthly touchpoints keep an agent's sphere up to date on happenings in their neighborhood. Goal-setting agents set a GCI goal within MoxiEngage, and it automatically tracks your progress towards that goal. MLS Integrated MoxiEngage is connected to your MLS. MLS records are continually pulled, so agents always have up-to-date property data at their fingertips with no manual data entry required. Task Recommendations MoxiEngage provides daily task recommendations, helping you stay on top of your leads at the right time, every time. MoxiEngage helps you know what you should be doing today in order to win more business tomorrow. MoxiWorks research has found agents who fully utilized MoxiEngage saw 64% more transactions, on average, than their peers without MoxiEngage. Start your business day in your dashboard with a flyover view of your business. Each day your dashboard gives you a snapshot of upcoming tasks and events as well as a few recommended contacts to stay in flow with. After you set your annual GCI goal, allow MoxiEngage to align tasks, campaigns, and guidance to aid you in achieving your business goal. Campaigns and automated emails help cultivate better relationships by delivering personalized information and unique insight into local markets. I'll show you how you can use all these tools to stay in touch with your sphere, close more transactions and stay top of mind with your people so they don't forget you are in the business down the line when they need an agent. Before we get into the demo, I want you to keep these statistics in mind. We know from industry studies that agents need a powerful solution to help them stay top of mind with all leads, especially their closed clients. When sellers were asked if they would reuse their agent, 89% said yes. But surprisingly, only 26% actually did. And when it comes to buyers, this number is even more important. Just think of how many more listings could be captured by staying in touch with a closed buyer client. Not to mention all the people in your sphere who aren't going to move this year but may know someone who is and could refer them to you. MoxiEngage is a product that is specially designed to keep agents in front of their sphere, which is a key factor in driving repeat business. Now let's dive into the demo site and see how everything works. During our tour of MoxiEngage today, we'll talk about connecting your email to MoxiEngage and setting your GCI goal. I'll walk through the features of the agent dashboard, how you can stay in flow, or stay in touch, with your contacts, and you'll see how you can move people through the sales flow. I'll also show you how to organize your sphere, or list of people, and then we'll wrap it up with how to use the help feature within MoxiEngage. Here's a quick note about how your profile information is populated in MoxiWorks. Your profile information, including your name, phone number, license information, etc., comes from what has been entered into Dash. Your profile information is used for things like your email signature, your listings, and even on your website. Any updates to your profile information must be completed by your local Dash administrator. In order to use MoxiEngage, you will need a company-provided Office 365 email or Google Workspace or a free Gmail account. Any other email providers will not work with MoxiEngage, such as Yahoo, AOL, etc. If you need information on forwarding email accounts, check with your email provider for those steps. When you log into MoxiEngage for the first time, you may be presented with the option to sync your email. If so, it'll be easy to follow the prompts to complete the process. If you are not presented with the option to sync, this means that a pre-sync has occurred automatically using your company-provided email listed in Dash. Regardless of which process happens for you, by connecting an email account, all your contacts in your main contact folder of your email will be made available to you in MoxiEngage. Note: MoxiEngage does not store contacts, just has access to them to display and allow you to track and work with them in MoxiEngage. If you unengage a contact, MoxiEngage will no longer have access to them and did not save them. If contacts from the synced email are not in the main folder of the email, they will not migrate to MoxiEngage. Once your contacts sync, within MoxiEngage you'll have a list of people to start with. Then, going forward, continue to add everyone you know. These can be non-clients, such as personal contacts or vendors and business associates, or they can be buyer and seller clients. And there are broker leads which come from a variety of sources, the internet, walk-ins, etc. Your broker has routing rules in place for offering those leads. Let's walk through the process for how broker leads get to you. With company-generated or broker leads, it starts with a consumer making a request for information. The request is received in Leads Engine, the company's lead routing tool. Based on routing rules set up by your broker, the lead is offered to an affiliated agent. As the agent, you can accept the lead or pass. If you accept, the lead and additional information about the lead will be entered into your MoxiEngage account. And you'll also get an email with the information. If you pass on the lead, it will go to the next affiliated agent in the rotation. For agent-generated leads, you'll be notified in the same way, and the lead will also be uploaded to your MoxiEngage account. Note: if you are using the free Gmail option, log into MoxiEngage and sync your email prior to the office lead cutover date, or the leads you accept will not be received in MoxiEngage. Your broker has more information if you have questions about this process. The offer will come from this specific number. We recommend you put this number in your phones as a contact with a special ringtone so you'll know to answer. For broker leads that you accept, and if your broker has established guidelines for engagement, you may be required to take action on the lead throughout your relationship with the lead. Those action are things like sending an email or logging a phone call within MoxiEngage. And I'll show you how easy it is to stay in touch and stay top of mind with all your contacts, whether they are company leads or your people in your sphere. But for now, let's go back to your setup of MoxiEngage. After you sync your email, you'll then be asked to set a business goal. Enter your GCI goal, and MoxiEngage will update your progress toward your goal as you continue to move people through their transactions. But don't forget, you also have the RE Scoreboard Goal Projector and C21 University to help you identify your business goal and build a realistic prospecting plan to focus on activities that produce results. The Agent Dashboard is your hub to keep you on track and in flow with your entire sphere. Along the top are menu options to help you easily navigate all of MoxiEngage. Within the dashboard, typically the first thing you'll see is the Stay in Flow module. This module shows you 5 contacts who you may not have connected with in a while and helps you to stay in contact with them. You don't have to go digging for people to connect with, they show up right here for you. We'll come back to this module in a minute and look at the ways you can reach out to the contacts listed here. But moving down, the activity feed displays recent activity in your sphere. This means any activity that has been generated through your interactions with people. Things like emails sent, presentations viewed. You can adjust the setting for what types of activities appear using the gear icon. Choose which activities you want to be featured and how recent those activities were. Note: the further back in time you would like to display, the longer it may take to populate the list. Click the gear icon again to close and save your selections. Next is your to-do list. This shows any tasks that you set for yourself to complete. You can add the task right here on the dashboard. Then click the circle to mark complete. But your to-do list also has transaction tasks. If you have someone you're already working with, daily task recommendations related to that transaction will show up here to keep you on track, so you know what things need to be done right away. And it also shows the person's name, so you can click their name and go right to their profile for more information. But you can also mark something completed right here. Again, the dashboard is an easy view to all the tasks and activities you're working on. As we continue scrolling down, we come to the Sales Flow module. The Sales Flow module displays your current progress towards a successful transaction. The numbers listed in each zone let you see quickly the total number of contacts in each zone. Think of this as the life cycle of your relationship with your people. And each sales flow has a recommended list of tasks. Those tasks are the transaction tasks we saw in the to-do list. Select any of the sections to navigate to that group in the My People screen. We'll go into this in more detail a little later. Below the sales flow is your calendar. This is the calendar for the email that you chose to sync with and will display those events. You can view your full calendar by clicking the View link or from the Calendar tab in the top menu. Scrolling down further, we see My Listings. My Listings displays all current and sold listings associated with your MLS account. From here you'll be able to send out listing announcements or just sold listing announcements. Note: there are no active listings for this demo. And finally, you'll see the Goals Completion module. This displays the current year's GCI goal that you entered when you first logged in and set up your account. This will update as you move people through the sales flow and close transactions. Select View to navigate to the Goals page for even more detail or to make a change to your GCI. Scrolling back to the top, you'll notice this menu bar on the side stays with us as we scroll through the dashboard. This bar represents all modules on the dashboard and can be used to navigate to any module from anywhere on the dashboard. You can also adjust the order in which the modules display by dragging and dropping where you choose. Let's go back to the Stay in Flow module and talk more about what you see here and what actions you can take. Remember, the Stay in Flow module shows you 5 people that you should be reaching out to. These can be anyone in your sphere or leads you've accepted from your broker. You can get specific with who you want to show up here by using the gear icon to set your preferences. Identify how often you want to see a name pop up: 30 days, 60 days or 90 days of last contact. Then identify the types of people you want to have show up. These are the different categories that you'll see when we look at people profiles. And you may start out in MoxiEngage wanting to see all types of people, but later you may only need to see new or uncategorized names. So remember to come back to these settings as you begin working in MoxiEngage. Leads you accept from your broker will display as lead, so to ensure you're staying engaged with those people, keep the leads box checked. Click the gear icon again to save your selections. Once you decide how often you want to see a name and which kinds of people you want to see, those people will display here. Now decide what action you want to take with this person. Click the Reach Out drop-down to see what our options are. This drop-down displays all the touchpoints you can make with this person. MoxiEngage will offer up options for us to connect with our person based on what's in their profile. For example, if this contact did not have a phone number, the call option would not be available. In this example, I can send a personal note. This gives me an address that I can use to send a handwritten note or card. Log a call. Note: making an actual call from the tool is not available yet. Send an email. Logging a call or other activity or sending an email from within MoxiEngage will count as an update if your broker has established guidelines for engagement for broker leads. Send a neighborhood news alert or put them on a drip email campaign. We'll come back to the last two, but let's first look at creating an email. This will open an email form to complete. It pre-fills with the person's email address. Just add a subject line and some body text and click send. And this shows that the email was sent and logged. And again, this will count towards an activity if this was a broker-led and your broker has established guidelines engagement. And it will mark this as complete, and I can move on to the next person. But I also want to point out the envelope icon in the top right of the screen. You can also send emails to any contact quickly by using that icon as well. The Stay in Flow module is a great way to start your day. Take a look at who's here and quickly use one of the touchpoints to stay in touch. Let's go back to the neighborhood news option. Staying in flow is all about connecting with your people, and this is only 5 people that we're connecting with today, but some touch points allow you to connect with more people on a regular basis. Neighborhood news is one of those examples. Neighborhood news is a monthly market update email sent on your behalf to targeted contacts. Neighborhood news provides people with relevant housing market statistics and information by zip code or location, all branded with your contact information. It's meant to be a conversation starter between you and your person where you can tell them what's going on in a market area that they have interest in, and then they can reach out to you to find out more personalized information. Now I could use the Reach Out drop-down and select Neighborhood News, but for this example, I want to go to my person's profile and show you how to do it from there. I'll select this contact's name. This will bring me to the profile for this contact, and if I scroll down on the left-hand side, there's the subscription section. And an option to add subscriptions. If you click to add subscriptions, we have 2 options here: neighborhood news and listing announcements. Subscribing people to listing announcements allows you to send out announcements regarding your just listed or just sold properties to anyone in your sphere. There's also another feature on the left-hand menu called Faves and Saves that you can use to set up a saved searches and listing alerts for your buyer leads. I'm not going to show you that today, but there's help available for more information on that feature. If you scroll down a little, you'll see an option to view a sample of the neighborhood news or listing announcement emails that will get sent. Let's look at a neighborhood news sample. And you'll see from the sample neighborhood news is just a snapshot of what's going on in a market area selected. Let's close the sample and set up a neighborhood news subscription. Click the Add Subscription button. You have 2 options for sending out a neighborhood news subscription: quick or custom. The quick option is just that, it's quick. All you have to do is plug in a zip code and the neighborhood news report will be based on that zip code and sent to this contact. Let's look at a custom report. Click Go for Custom. Customize the search area. These parameters: location, search by location, zip code, address or neighborhood. We'll look for homes in the in area. You can also further refine the report using the other filters available. Set price minimums and maximums. Select bed and bath options. Add additional filters for property type and square footage. Search by schools, or draw custom search boundaries on the map. Off to the left are all the listings that will be shown in this first report that will go out based on your search criteria. Click Next. Email to send to. Click Next. Give the report a minute to load, then you can preview the full report. Scroll through the page for a preview of what your contact will see as part of the email that gets sent. See the filters selected, the map, the listings. Trend information. Pricing and market information. Median sold prices. Your contact information appears at the bottom. Click Send to Name to send this email. You have now subscribed an individual to Neighborhood News. The person immediately receives their first issue of Neighborhood News when you subscribe them, followed by a new email each month from the day you start the subscription. The news report will be sent once a month on the day you set this up. Keep this in mind when you are setting these up. Don't plan to create these all on the first of the month. Your contacts may be getting other notifications at the beginning of the month, so consider setting these up towards the middle of the month. Listing announcements are just as easy to set up. Just click the Add Subscription button and follow the prompts. So remember, you can add subscriptions for any contact from the Contacts profile page under Subscriptions, or, for Neighborhood News, right from the Stay and Flow module on the dashboard where we started. Back on the dashboard, remember here is where you see the Reach Out options to stay in touch. In addition to the Neighborhood News touchpoint, another Reach Out option is Campaigns. On the campaign page you'll see a few tabs. We'll start with My Campaigns. This tab will display the campaigns you've selected from the library and can use to send out to your people. There are 3 different types of campaigns you can set up and send out. 1. Sequential allows you to communicate with your person through a regular flow of emails that are not tied to a calendar date. For example, the first email goes out today, the next is scheduled to go out 7 days later, and so on. 2. Date-driven emails are scheduled to be sent on specific days of the year, and 3. E-blast campaigns are individual emails that can be sent at any time to one person or a group of people. All campaigns can be managed from this homepage. You can see which campaigns you have already selected but not started in your Awaiting Setup section. Running displays the currently active campaigns, and paused shows you campaigns you elected to put on pause for now, and archived shows you all the campaigns that have run their course and are complete, or that you chose to archive. When you first log in, you will not have any campaigns displaying. So you'll want to click the Add from Library button to add some. From this list you'll see campaigns that have been added by your broker or your brand that you can use. The source column or the source filter drop-down will show you who created the campaign. You can click the preview link to view all the emails and schedule for a campaign. Here we have our Holiday Greetings Pets edition showing us all the emails that would go out on the left side. You can click the arrow to look at them all. Then over on the right side, we have our campaign schedule showing us when those are going to be scheduled to go out. This is a date-driven campaign. If I like this campaign, I can click the Add to Campaigns button to add this to my library and have it to use for any of my people. Then click Close to return to the previous screen. Here's my campaign, and now I want to add people to receive this campaign, so just click the title. And this will bring us to the campaign, where we can set up who's going to get it and see the schedule. You could edit the name of the campaign if you wanted to. This name is only visible to you. And then we have a recipients section. The little check mark here is grayed out, and that's because there are no recipients yet, so over on the right is our setup button, and this will allow us to now add people. Click Add Recipients to choose names from your people list. We can add individual people just by checking the box next to them. And you can also add groups of people using this tab. Groups is a really great feature to use not only for organizing and categorizing your sphere, but also for sending messages. When you select a group here to add to this campaign, what's great is that if you add a new person to that group, they will automatically begin receiving these campaign emails. Whatever email is next in the list. Go back to the People tab. Let's send this to the people I've selected so far. Click Add. And you can see that those 3 people are now added here. And don't worry, you won't be able to add a person more than once. However, if you were to run this campaign from a copy, and added the person to the copy, then the recipient may get the emails twice. Click Save. Now we see the schedule of emails that will go out. For this particular one that we selected, the next email goes out on. This looks good, so click Run Campaign. Back on the home screen you'll see your campaign, and over to the right you can see the number of people subscribed and you can see the open rate. It's not available right now because we just activated it. You'll also see if anyone has unsubscribed. Some campaigns can be edited, allowing you the ability to edit the email schedule or even to remove one of the emails from the campaign. Your brand or brokerage will decide which campaigns can be edited. And it's important to keep in mind, if you are able to edit a campaign and you make changes, you will lose the connection to the original when you run your edited campaign. So if your brand or broker makes an update to the original, you won't get those updates in your changed campaign. I'm not going to walk through editing a campaign, but the steps are documented in the help and also in the self-paced learning. The other tabs along the top you'll see are e-blasts, which are the single emails that can be sent out. There's the neighborhood news tab, which will show you some stats for those reports that you've set up. And my emails will display the individual emails that make up the campaigns. There's so many benefits to using campaigns, so I recommend that that's one of the first places you go when you log in and look at the library and add your brand or broker campaigns. And then set your contacts up to begin receiving emails. Another way to stay in touch is with special dates. Do this from my people. Special dates are things like birthdays, anniversaries, or houseversaries. Setting up special dates gives you the option to send automatic emails on those dates. Let's select this contact name. From this profile we see there are no special dates added, so we can do that by clicking Edit. Scroll down until we see Dates. And next to Dates we can click Add Date. You can now choose from the drop-down menu: birthday, anniversary, houseversary, or custom. Add the date, scroll up and click Done. After adding the date, click the Add to Calendar link. This way you can schedule an email to go out on this date. Next you would click the calendar icon, which will allow you to schedule the email up to a year in advance. We won't do this now, but just want you to see where the button is. So special dates can be used for all your contacts as a way to stay in touch even after they've bought or sold a house with you. We've talked about touchpoints being a really big part of staying top of mind with your people in MoxiEngage. Another big part of MoxiEngage is helping you stay on target to meet your goal, and that is done through the sales flow, which is really the relationship cycle that you have with your people. We'll go back to dashboard. Each sales flow zone is a milestone for an individual client's progress towards a successful transaction. These milestones each have tasks for you to customize and complete to help you stay on top of the transaction. As you continue to complete tasks, move your client's transaction through the zones of the sales flow until you're ready to close. Marketing. Every person represents a prospective transaction. Marketing is populated with people you want to target with the goal of persuading them to work with you. Prospect. Move people into the prospect zone if they expressed interest in working with you, and their prospective transaction could develop within the next 12 months. Active. People you are actively working with. However, this doesn't have anything to do with the active status on the MLS, it's just your relationship with your person. Pending. People are moved to pending when they have a pending transaction, having reached and accepted a mutual offer on a home, and are moving toward closing. And when you close the transaction, MoxiEngage will then automatically move that person back into marketing zone, so that you will continue to get reminders to connect through the Stay in Flow module, keeping you top of mind with them. When you're just getting started you won't have anybody in any of the zones, but when we talk about organizing your people, I'll show you a quick way to put people into the right zone. But let me show you what the tasks look like for some of these zones and how to move people to the next zone. We'll start with prospects, so I'll click the prospect box. Notice our list of people is filtered by prospects. We'll select this first name. In this example, prospects. As you scroll down the page, you'll see the different tasks associated with the prospect zone. Remember, the prospect zone is anyone who has expressed interest in working with you. One of the tasks is to create a seller or buyer presentation. If you click on that task, you'll see a button to create a presentation. MoxiWorks has built their products to be integrated with each other. Click the Create Buyers Sellers Presentation task to view the button. For example, clicking this button will automatically generate a presentation in Moxie Present using the default template and plugging in the details from our transaction. Don't click the button, but for all of the tasks, once you have completed them, just check the box. This will keep a log of when you completed the task at the bottom of the page. Remember, these are recommended tasks and are not required to be completed before you move on to the next zone. Check off one or two tasks as complete. Click the Date drop-down button and select Done. Scroll to bottom to show completed tasks. When you are ready to move them to the next zone because you got the listing, click the button at the top to move to active zone. And now that we are in the active zone, you'll see a new set of recommended tasks for you. Read through some of the tasks. You don't need to reach each one. For each zone, you see a default set of tasks, but later when we look at settings, I'll show you where you can customize these. After you've completed all these tasks, you're ready to move to the next zone. Again, click the button at the top. Confirm that you want to move on by clicking Yes. Moving to the pending zone does require you to provide an estimated close date. Note, this data is only to help you stay on track with your transaction and will not affect the listing on the MLS in any way. Enter that and click Yes to confirm. At this point in the sales flow, you'll need to enter your transaction information. Normally, you would probably have a listing number that you could plug in here and all the info would populate, but since we are not live, we'll use the non-MLS option so that I can show you how this transaction can be closed. Complete the price and date fields and click Done. Enter a price and date in the fields and click Done. And again, at this point, you'll see all the applicable tasks for the pending zone. Check these off as complete and then it's time to move this to a closed transaction. You'll be asked to confirm some details about the property and then click Continue. Confirm again. And you're done. The contact has moved back into the marketing zone so you can stay in touch using the recommended tasks and the contact will show up in the Stay in Flow module to remind you to connect. Also, go back into his profile and update his houseanniversary date so you can reach out next year. If you want, click Edit to add the date. You can also start looking at that information in the Goals module. Click the Goals tab. The Goals module updates and shows you how close you are to achieving your entire goal for the year. And if we go back to the dashboard, scroll down to the sales flow with my tasks above, scroll down to view the sales flow, which, again, shows you how many people are in each zone, but then above that is your to-do list. Click the Transaction Tasks tab. From here you can see all those transaction tasks for everyone that is in each one of the zones. So, use your dashboard for a quick view of what needs to be done and then nothing falls through the cracks. And remember, you can always click a person's name to get to the person's profile card to make updates as well. Next thing I want to show you is the Engage settings. Customizing your preferences can help you make MoxiEngage work for you. The Engage settings will allow you to manage your leads providers, edit your transaction tasks and much more. From the menu at the top right, click the gear icon and select Engage settings. This will bring you to your Engage preference page where you can manage several settings. You can update or customize tasks in each sales flow zones. Click Task Manager. You can even customize the emails that go out automatically. Click Emails, click Neighborhood News. Be sure to look at these settings when you first log in and add your customizations to make MoxiEngage work for you. Go back to the dashboard. Up to this point, we've talked a lot about what you can do with your people to stay in touch, stay top of mind and stay on top of things with contacts and leads you are currently working with. Let's take a closer look at our contact list. From the People menu, select My People. Within MoxiEngage you'll have a list of people which will consist of your synced email contacts and leads you may receive from your broker. Going forward, it is recommended that you continue to add everyone you know to grow your sphere. These can be personal contacts or business associates, and of course buyer and seller clients. When you first sync your email, your contacts will be labeled uncategorized. Same as if you were to import a spreadsheet list. Remember, the contacts that will sync from your email come from your main contact folder from your synced email account. And for an Outlook or Gmail synced email, if you have categories or groups set up, those will sync to MoxiEngage as groups. So one of the first things you'll want to do is look at your full contact list and begin to categorize your people. This is just a suggested best practice, but that way you can start to take advantage of all the touch points and action plans we just discussed. You'll be categorizing your people into clients and non-clients. One way to tackle this is to start by identifying the people you're currently working with and put them into the active zone. Then look for those people you're at the end of the transaction with and put them into the pending zone. Let's pick a contact and put them in the active zone. Click a name that has not been categorized yet. Select Client to identify this person as a client in order to put them into a flow. In our example, this is someone we're actively working with, so start by making them a prospect. Select Make Seller Prospect. They'll be a prospect at first. Click the Move to Active Zone button. And that's done. Now you can start tracking this client with the recommended tasks. Let's go back to your full contact list. Click the back arrow or click My People again from the menu at the top. When you're done setting up the people you're actively working with, a recommended next step is to use the Categorize wizard to help you easily identify the rest of your people. Decide who belongs in the marketing zone, the prospect zone, or simply mark as a personal contact. From My People, click Categorize Wizard. Just answer some questions for each person. Are they a client or non-client? Select Client for the first contact listed. For clients, you can choose whether to put them on a marketing plan, make them a seller prospect, make them a buyer prospect. These choices will put your person into the appropriate sales flow zone, and you'll be able to keep track with the tasks for the zone. Select a plan for a client. For non-clients, you can choose whether to identify them as personal, family, friends, collaborator, coworkers, or vendors. For non-clients, we can still stay in touch with listing announcements or special date emails, but they don't need to be in a sales flow. Select a personal contact. Spend some time when you first begin using MoxiEngage to organize your sphere. Click the back arrow to go back to contact list, and again, you can do this one by one or with the Categorize wizard. Go back to My People screen with the back arrow. One last thing to review with My People are groups. We mentioned the power of groups when we talked about setting up a campaign. And here is where you can create groups to further categorize your people. Click the Edit Groups button to create new or update existing. Remember from earlier I mentioned that categories or groups from your synced email will show up here in MoxiEngage? Take care when editing your existing groups, because any changes you make in MoxiEngage will sync back to your email. That includes adding or deleting groups. Also, if you add a contact in MoxiEngage, which you can do with the Add People button, that will also be added to your synced email account. That was a lot of information we covered and a lot of information to remember, so the last thing I want to show you is the Help feature. Go back to Dashboard. On all the pages in MoxiEngage, in the bottom right you'll see this red Help button. This widget is extremely helpful. Click the Help button to get suggested help articles based on where you are in MoxiEngage, or type in your question to get help. Then click the link to view the help article. Click any of the articles that pop up. You can also type in a question or topic to see what pops up. You can search the Help Center for topics. The Help widget and the Help Center will be very helpful to you as you get started learning and using MoxiEngage. Use the button to search, log a ticket, or to get in touch with a representative. Speaking of getting started, let's talk about your next steps. Again, this was a lot of information, so to help you get started, we created a checklist of things to consider doing first as soon as you log into MoxiEngage. And look for additional learning opportunities also available in your brand universities. There are self-paced e-learning courses available. And again, make use of the Help button within MoxiEngage to get steps and how to information for all these great features of MoxiEngage. Consider attending Moxie Works Hours, 8 bi-weekly sessions. These 1-hour sessions will take a deep dive into best practices on each of the Moxie Works products, like MoxiEngage. Also found on C21 University. Find the Getting Started and e-learning opportunities on C21 University. Go to the Learning Library, search for your course using the pathways, or type Moxie in the search bar. Click Learn More, click the Participant tab for resources. Open 21 Online, click the menu in the upper right corner, scroll down and click Productivity Hub. Scroll down to find tiles for each of the Moxie Works products. If the launch icon doesn't appear, the user has not yet been granted access in Dash. Thank you again for your time and participation today. I hope you learned something valuable that will help take your business to the next level.